What's poppin', everybody? Cerebral4 here with my usual matches to show you guys. Expanded match today, and I'm returning briefly to Galactic Necro Killers, the Malamar Ultra Necrozma GX deck. I like this. I like to use this deck better in Expanded than Standard. I think I've already proven that since I pretty much always use this kind of a deck in Expanded. Anyway, now my opponent is playing a very, very, very annoying deck, and I'm already pissed off. Like, I know what it is when I see it. It is this Lily Polkadol Florges deck. It's so annoying, using one of my favorite fairy Pokemon, Florges, in such a fashion. But yeah, I'm aware of this deck. I've seen it, like the article on PokeBeach too. You know, I know what's up. I freaking despise these decks. Like, I'm trying hard not to swear, but I probably will swear at the end of the video. Um, I despise these decks. I hate these freaking decks so much. These stall-oriented decks deck you out, run you out of resources, just don't attack, just try to annoy the opponent. I despise them. There's way too many to count. Either with a Rank Guru, with Sableye, Hoopa Gigas, this sort of variant, other variant. It's just too many to count, and I'm fucking sick of them. Anyway, just my only tactic against this deck really is to try and get our sniper, the Cramorant V that I have in this deck, and hope I can just play around my opponent and just target his stuff on the bench as opposed to the Clefairy that don't give prizes. So we actually have a decent little start, if I say so myself. He couldn't move the little Flabebe from the active position, so that's an easy KO for me. Didn't manage to get any other Pokemon on the bench, so that's good. So we're off to a decent start. Now, with this deck, you could be winning until the last prize, and then eventually your opponent gets that sort of control, gets all of the cards they need to basically have you at their mercy, and it doesn't matter, but we're going to try. I usually don't scoop unless I know it's completely hopeless. I just try and play games out, even against these nuisance decks, but we'll see what happens. So level ball, what should I get? I mean, Malamar is the only choice. And I got all of the Malamars out. I'm going to try and have space, keep an open spot on my bench for the Cramorant V, but we don't have a way to get a KO this turn unless I use Mew. So I guess we're going to have to do that. Burn the switch as well, but I would have liked, to be honest, to have another spot for Dominic's Necrozma, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to play our stadium, and I'm actually going to switch the old-fashioned way, save the switch for later, and get rid of the cutie fly, I think that's what it's called, and get another prize. Now, it's very fortunate for me, those little bee things, like mosquito things. It's a pretty looking bug Pokemon, it's okay, but those little flies have only 30 HP, at least the ones he's using. I don't know if there's any other ones with 40 HP. But it's good for me. I get that prize, and that's nice. And what he's going to be doing, he actually has the tropical beach down too. So this guy probably knows what he's doing if he has that card. And I'm actually going to make use of that too. It's actually good. It's going to help me dig for my Cramorant V. And he actually filled his entire bench. And there's no, like, Mew or Mr. Mime with bench barrier, so that's good. Now, we can't get Cramorant V with the treasure, but I've seen it in my deck. It's in my deck. So what we're going to do is I could either use the Tropical Beach or get another KO on the Cutie Flies. He still has them over there. So getting the KO is the way to go. Eventually I will get the dude. Just getting as many quick prizes as we can is important. So get that KO and get Hoopa. There's no way I'm going to bench that down. And there's the Florges there. So what this Pokemon does, this Florges with Wondrous Gift, is every turn you can flip a coin. If hits, you put an item card, I think it's an item card or just a trainer card, on top of your deck. Now, in any conventional deck, this wouldn't be so great. You know, you put the card on top of your deck, you don't get it in the hand, you gotta flip a coin, it's a stage 2. But in this kind of a deck, it's the bread and butter pretty much, the heart and soul of the tactic to stall. We get the Dawn Wings Necrozma, but I don't have the space. I need to keep that other spot for Cramorant. And he got my Malamar in the active position. Now, there's no other cutie flies for me to snipe with Mew, so this was a great opportunity to just go for the Tropical Beach. And we did see Cramorant V. That's good. And I'm gonna have to make use of it. It's gonna be my only hope. Now, before you know it, with a little bit of luck, we did manage to get like 3 cheap prizes. But from now on, it's gonna be difficult. It won't be easy. So he's still searching Florges and stuff. Gonna get those guys out. So he has that Florges, and naturally the Floette that discard or shuffles a card from your hand back in the deck, which also sucks. He actually did that, I think, maybe once or twice. Damn. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bench the Cramorant V. To my disappointment, though, I don't have any Psychic Energies in the discard pile to grab. We could have just grabbed them with Malamars and then switch, and I get a KO. So I think we're gonna have to. I don't want to use Juniper because that switch is valuable. I basically have 2 switches and 2 float stones in this deck, and we will absolutely have to make use of them. They're paramount. I don't want to discard that switch. Now, checking into this deck via Seeker. I mean, it doesn't matter what he has because he can get stuff back with that Florges anyway. So, if I use the Tropical Beach, I just draw 1 card. But we might have to do that. So the timer starts ticking, and I think I'm just going to go for it, and I'm rewarded with the Professor's Letter. That's good. So I can search out Psychic Energies. So, if I see something, if I just like gather the energies, attach them, and then switch, I can attack or maybe use another Pokemon. But he's actually got rid of his Clefairy dolls, realizing what I'm about to do. Still nothing though, but he got rid of he opened a space on his bench, and I'm sure there must be a reason, and more than likely he's going to use Steven's Resolve. There's a good chance he does have like a bench barrier Pokemon, so if he plays that down, it's going to suck. But at the very least, it seems like I am going to get at least 1 free snipe shot. Okay, so top deck the Mysterious Treasure, that's great. I mean, if we didn't, I was going to use the Juniper anyway, but let's see. Discard you, get Latios. Yeah, I'm going to dump that guy too. Now that I think about it, actually, it's great that we top deck the treasure. If I didn't get that, I probably wouldn't be able to attack, or I was going to have to sacrifice the switch. Sacrifice 2 switches to make an attack or some shit. But we managed to get what we need, and now I'm going to go for the Juniper, I think, before I attack. All of the stuff I have in hand, I don't need. I really don't need. Our basically our problem is going to be killing this guy quick enough before he manages to get me stuck, and I ran out of switching options. So get the KO on one of the Florges there. Hindsight being 2020, I probably should have killed the Cutie Fly there, because with that thing there, I can't use Lysander, and if we got rid of that, then I can just use Lysander for the remaining prizes. So that was probably a mistake. So gets the Floette, spins the Jirachi back on my deck. No problem, didn't need that. So a bit fortunate there again. And he probably like freaking used that dowsing machine 50 times by now, and by the end of this game, he's probably going to use it 50 more times. This is why these strategies are just too much. It's just too much. I think I'm actually going to make like a dedicated video rant talking about this whole thing because I've been sick of this shit for a long time, and it just seems like the creators don't care. They're happy. They keep printing cards to make these strategies viable, and like I said, there's a lot of them too. There's not like one sort of kind of deck like this, and then you just can try and prepare for it. There's many different variants from hand destruction, deck destruction, oh god, running you out of energies, just all sorts of shit. And I can only imagine the bullshit if stuff like the Mershadow and those other freaking cards didn't get banned and expanded. Okay, so computer search. Gonna get the Lie Center here. And I could have gotten like a switch or something. The stuff we have in hand is good. We have what we need, I think. And I'm going to, let's see, put the psychic energy on you. Put the psychic energies on. And I can either use the float stone or... Oh yeah, we gotta use the float stone because I don't have enough psychics in the discard pile. So, float stone, put the Cramorant, or not the Cramorant V, but the Ultra Necrozma in the active position. And I'm gonna go with Lysander. Now, I fucked up, and I'm very pissed. I forgot about the Ripombi there. So that was a major fuck up. It's another thing when you play against this deck, you sort of lose your mind, and then you make that crucial misplay. So even though I was in a good position, I make this sort of fuck up and waste this valuable turn. Used up the floatstone as well. And we're just forced to kill this robo substitute that doesn't do anything. And I'm just so extremely pissed. I'm so extremely pissed playing against these decks. And this misplay might have even cost me the game. So I came too far to give up, but just damn, man, damn. Why? Why the fuck do they keep making these decks viable? You know, I guess it's gonna take for them to piss off the community, and maybe they see like drop in tournaments. There's already tournaments getting canceled and stuff for another reason I'm not going to mention. You guys know what's going on in the world. But besides that, like, I guess they really just need for everybody to get pissed off and be sick of these decks for them to realize not to print cards that support these kind of strategies. Anyway, so Skyla, I guess get the Field Blower. I mean, what the hell can I do here? And he got the Mr. Mime down, like I thought. So we won't be able to snipe for shit anymore. Yeah, I shoulda killed the Cutie Fly there on the previous turn. So just mistakes that really just changed the game entirely. But at the same time, I'm not going to pretend like I played against this sort of deck 50 times or like many times. I just hate them. I hate these decks. But I mean, your only hope is basically to try and do something like the stuff that I'm doing here. Just to try and play around the Clefairy and the substitutes, because they can essentially recycle them forever. Like if you keep trying to kill them, they're just going to keep getting them back with the Florges. It's an endless struggle. And then you deck out. This is why this dude is playing Mr. Mime, because he knows that sniping around is one of his weaknesses. Now, I'm extremely pissed because no matter what I do, he has an answer. Fuck this fucking deck. Fuck this deck. And we can't even use the chorus. I'm going to deck out if I do that. So keep swearing this dude off, cursing this dude and his fucking deck. And the only thing I can't do is use Mew, I guess, and just target the cutie fly. I guess it's still not too late. If I get 2 attacks on it, maybe I can get a prize. Another thing we can do is use Cramorant V and try to search VA Seekers in my hand and stuff, but it's not gonna work out. Lysander isn't shit with Cutie Fly, with Rapombi there. Anyway, and now he's gonna start using this bitch card, the Rocket's Handiwork, and try and deck me out. Surprise, surprise there. You know, these decks, they're cheap. Some people are gonna try and say, oh, there's some skill involved with them and whatever. Fucking nonsense, okay? They are designed to have an advantage over the conventional decks, you know? Making use of stuff like the Lieutenant Surge that's around, even though this guy is not playing him, but that's one example. You know, not getting any prize, being able to make use of stuff like the counter catchers he's getting back in his hand for the billionth time. There are just so many tricks, you know, these decks do that are just so unfair. And it's just too easy to pull off. It's just too easy to pull off. You know, it's not hard learning the ins and outs of a deck like this, you know, net decking a good list and just trolling your opponent. I don't care what anyone says. So he keeps going with the Rocket's Handiwork, using it again, and shit. What am I gonna do here? Got this Psychic Energy. As long as Mime is there, I can't snipe. Really our only way, now that I got rid of the Rapombi, is to... We gotta get the VS Seeker. Like, I gotta get Lysander and just pull a Pokemon for the final attack. Now, I don't know what to do, and this timer is stressing me out as well. Not enough time to think, so just using Malamar's ability. Maybe that's a bad thing, actually, but I gotta do something, otherwise I'm gonna run out of time. And what the fuck can we do? What can we do? Timer again. I don't want to burn the switch, but do we have a choice? Gotta do it. Okay, so Cramorant V, and I didn't attach the energy anywhere. Get the VS Seekers and hope just something works out. To be honest, when you're not 100% on the stuff in his hand, or you forget to, he went with N, so that kind of ruins my shit. He hasn't taken any prizes, so if he had a low hand, I could try and deck him out with my own N, but there's no way that's going to happen. He knows better than to fall into that trap. And because Florges stacks cards in their deck, it's basically impossible to deck them out. So, what are we gonna do here? I got a Psychic Energy in the discard pile. So put that on Malamar too, and just, I guess, put the other one on one of you guys. Now, at the very least, he hasn't played any of those like Crushing Hammers and stuff. I mean, Crushing Hammers wouldn't really work effectively against me anyway when you have Malamar. But, you know, it is what it is. So Beak Catch, we're going to search out the VS Seekers again in hand and hope something works out. Use the end too. I just need that one opening to use Lysander and then we win. We're down to one prize. Can I do it? Or is he just going to deck me out? So counter catcher, bring in the Malamar back in the active position. And Team Rocket's handiwork gets double tails. I suppose I'm fortunate. And Florges gets tails on all of those guys too. Triple tails, Jesus. Anyway, that's what you get. Now, he pulled the Malamar in the active position though, and I know I used both of the switches. The other one of the float stones is on Malamar. The other float stone, I don't even know if it got discarded or if it's in the last prizes. So I'm gonna use Lysander here. I just don't see what I can do. I guess just try random stuff and maybe something works out. Just get somebody in the active position and then maybe if we find a way to switch, I can just kill another Pokemon. Get the Florges, I guess. Now, I could be wrong, but I think I do have like one Psychic Energy left in the deck. Or maybe there's the other float stone. I'm not sure. I think the other float stone got discarded, or it could even be the last prize. But we pulled the dude, and I'm just giving the sad face there. Fuck's sake, I thought I could have done it, like I had a shot. Puts this Via Seeker back in the deck. I mean, to be honest, if I had Guzma instead of Lysander, this would have been a done deal. So I guess one of the situations where it bites you in the ass not use Guzma. For the most part, Guzma kind of outclasses Lysander. I just like Lysander better because it's simpler to use. And sometimes it does work out to have Lysander over Guzma. But I do have that Psychic Energy in the deck. God damn. Okay, so if we just use Cynthia, we're going to draw all our deck. And all I got to do is just switch and then I win. So I don't know how we did it. I got really lucky there, but it just feels so good to beat this fucking deck. I was fortunate. I probably made like a lot of mistakes. But yeah, fuck you for playing this deck. Fuck these decks in general. And sweet victory. Feels good when you beat this shitty deck, even though they wasted so much of our time. But thank you guys for watching. This is Saber94. Subscribe, leave a like, share this video, all the good stuff. And just comment down below if you hate these decks too. Because I do. Saber94, what's up?